So the Biden campaign have got a new strategy, which is campaign for Trump, which based
Oh, it's amazing.
seems like a good idea. And the reason I'm saying this is because of what Joe Biden has been referring to Trump and the MAGA people as. And we'll start off here just with a shill, this being the Life and Times of Hunter Biden that Carl and I think Josh did, going into Hunter Biden there, pictured in his usual uniform of a scarf and underwear, and that's about it. No crack pipe in this one, though, so very disappointing. Remember the crack pipes, they'll come back.
Confident guy.
Did you see Lawrence Fox's playing him? You've seen the photos.
Yeah.
Very lifelike. Let's move to the next one, though, because we have Trump, who is on Truth Social now, because he got banned from Twitter, of course, so he's made his own thing, and he's back. He's back to tweeting in the way he does. I suppose we'll read some of these if you go back to the other one, just so we can read it first. So inflation is now 11% and going higher. Gasoline is at the highest price in history by far. Just like the war with Russia and Ukraine, this would never have happened under the Trump administration in charge. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
3. He's gone to the next level. 3 exclamation marks. I don't remember that on Twitter.
You know he's serious now.
Yeah.
If we go to the next image, you can see more of that. A nation can't feed itself. Soon the USA can't defend itself. I mean, certainly can't feed the baby's baby formula. The only question is now, will Joe Biden be the next Herbert Hoover or just Jimmy Carter? Go see 2,000 Mules. 3 exclamation points on that one.
Nice. I think he's worse than Carter. I've always said, since he arrived, Biden is the worst president in US history.
Yeah.
There's no one worse. Is there anyone worse? Some people on the right really hate
Wilson?
They really hate Wilson, I was going to say. And the other one is Carter, is meant to be a disaster. But can it be worse than Biden? Afghanistan, now war in Russia, even if you say it wasn't totally his fault, inflation, gas prices.
Problems at home, honestly.
And what's he done that's good? Falling over on steps. I mean,
that's beautiful. I mean, he's trying. He's trying to win us over with falling over on the stairs. So
isn't he the worst of all time?
I'd probably go with Wilson. I had the chance to watch The Birth of the Nation the other day. I don't know if you know, he screened that in the White House. It was the first film ever screened in the White House. And of course, then popularized the Klan.
The Klan thing, yeah.
And then brought it all back. I mean, if not all the other things he's done. But
the Democrats loved the Ku Klux Klan, didn't they? They were all Klan guys, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean, literally.
Yeah, they loved
the
it.
party
what
of
was
the
that
Klan.
thing about Bill Clinton went to that big Klan guy's funeral, and it's just something they all had to do?
Gave a eulogy about how nice of a guy he was. Had beautiful robes, I'm sure.
Crazy, isn't it? That's one of the biggest cons, isn't it, in American politics? But we don't want to necessarily get sidetracked with that. But, everyone...
but it's real.
People think the Democrats are on the side of black people. You've got Ku Klux Klan, you've got Jim Crow laws, you've got Margaret Sanger
Slavery.
with the Planned Parenthood. The slavery, forgot that one. Quite big.
They were pretty racist, but I don't know about that.
yeah, it's amazing. They managed, and then they pull off the big switch con, which Dinesh D'Souza talks about. But there was no big switch. They just carried on being idiots in different ways.
Well, critical race theory by other means.
There you go.
Speaking of Dinesh D'Souza, that's 2,000 Mules, which we can't talk too much about.
Okay.
Because of YouTube's editorial guidelines. So we'll move on. And we'll go to Joe Biden doing the full-on campaigning for Trump here. This is Joe's account. I'm sure he uses it. In which he decided to give a speech in which he referred to the Trump guys as ultra MAGA, the ultra MAGA agenda of Senator Rick Scott. He says it's going to make 95% of Americans pay more taxes. This is a complete misnomer, by the way, on a side point here. I don't know if you ever looked into what on earth he was talking about. If you go to the next one here, Carl did. And the guy had just proposed that everyone should pay tax, no matter how small. So even if you paid £1, it's fine. You're at least in the system, psychologically. So that was where that criticism comes from, but that's a whole side point. But the fact that he called them ultra MAGA, and this comes off the whole thing of dark MAGA as well coming up, which I'm not sure I fully understand. But
yeah, I semi-understand it. But I love ultra MAGA. That's like Trump's come back. To me, it's Trump's come back even stronger, like Galvatron or like Rodimus Prime. I don't know why I'm using Transformers reference, and you're too young anyway. But he's come back even more mega. He's got those blazing eyes, and he's just come out. You thought he was dead.
Liberal, it just lasers.
Silence. Yeah, and he's back. Even 2024, stronger than ever. Ultra MAGA.
Yeah.
Keep America ultra great again, or something.
And the Republicans embraced this because
that's brilliant.
Why wouldn't you? It's funny as hell. So you have some representative here being like, "I am ultra MAGA. I'm proud of it." Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
She's the living meme of the yes Chad meme. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're saying you're ultra MAGA? Yes.
Yes. Yeah. What do you want? And if we go to the next one, we also have more from this. We have Jack Posobiec going with good morning to everyone, especially my ultra MAGAs. So very good there. If we carry on, we then have the fact that I really do enjoy the more politicians engage in meme culture. And Marjorie Taylor Greene here being a controversial.
It's especially funny when a sort of soccer mom does it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's happened to Marjorie?
Because she's such like a normal person, and then you just glowing eyes memes. When it comes to making America great again, I'm all in, and I can't even understand anyone who is not hashtag UltraMAGA glowing eyes meme.
That's
So,
hilarious.
gold.
That is totes based, isn't it?
Yeah, and if we move on, we then have the fact that this, of course, comes on the back of Dark MAGA as well, which seems to be, frankly, I don't know, but it seems to be the idea that just Trump, if he gets back in, is just going to waste no time.
Such a cool shot, isn't it? Everything Trump does is just cool somehow, isn't it? It just looks, he does these cool looking. When he first came out, that silhouette of him. You remember when he first walks onto the podium? You see it in montages. Just that umbrella with the lightning. It's pretty badass, isn't it?
Don't know if we can get bigger, John, just show people. Because I think that one is actually free as well, like on the Flickr website from them. But it's just, it's
like,
the dichotomy of him being the funny man who just goes down the escalator. And then everything else he does that, Dark MAGA definitely fits that image, for sure.
Dark Ultra MAGA is back.
Dark Ultra MAGA. So then if we go forward, we then have the MAGA King, of course. Now this is the newest one, which I love.
This is so good.
Let's play the clip.
Under my predecessor, the great Maggot King, the deficit increased every single year he was president.
And who cares what else he had to say, frankly. Like, once you mentioned the MAGA King, the great MAGA King.
It's so cool. It's just the best nickname ever, the great MAGA King. This is and obviously you've seen, I don't want to insult you, but you got Trump there owning it.
Embracing it.
Because think about Trump's nicknames. They were so good. Crooked Hillary was amazing. Low Energy Jeb, then Sleepy Joe, all his nicknames. And they're just bang, bang, bang. They're so good. And like, oh, we need to get Trump back. What can we do? The great MAGA King. It's like, are you working for him now, John? That's an incredible nickname. Like, that's the worst insult ever. Imagine you say to me, Nick, I come in, you're like, oh, Nick, oh yeah, you're the great king. I'm like,
okay, crown.
Yeah. Callum the great Lotus Eaters King. He's like, oh, I'm so hurt. That's amazing.
Like, if Fox News in their office just spent an afternoon brainstorming for how they could make Trump sound cool.
Great MAGA King? Nah, it's too much.
Number one, it'd be too far. I don't think they'd even come up with it. But you couldn't pay someone to come up with things this great. And Joe Biden does it for free. So that's the best thing.
The great, make America great. And yeah, is it on Getter?
Yeah, this is on Truth Social again.
Oh, Truth Social, of course, yeah.
Trump, of course, his own social media here. So this is him saying, the great MAGA King is the name Joe Biden is now using to describe me. Thank you, Joe. Make America great again. 3 exclamation points, of course. You know what's annoying is Truth Social isn't accessible in the UK.
I know, it is annoying, especially because I want to get my name on it. Because on Getter, because on Twitter I haven't got my name. I have to put an extra thing on it. But on Getter and Parler and Gab, I'm just Nick Dixon. Because I get onto it, I'm like, this could be the next one. I get on there straight away. Yeah. But I'm like, when will Truth Social come out? Some American's going to have my name or has it. It's this staggered launch.
Don't steal it.
Yeah. Someone's going to do that now. It's a staggered launch that didn't really work, did it? Let's be real.
I mean, I don't know because we're not allowed to access it. Like, I think it's only available in the United States, or at least we
I
can't.
suppose it's the
get
people at Getter that was. I think that's what someone who was a big Getter fan that suggested it didn't really work. But I have heard a lot about that was a bit of a botched launch. This staggered idea. It hasn't really worked. I mean, I want it to. It hasn't really worked out, has it?
I guess we'll find out because I just literally can't go on, can we?
No, okay. But it doesn't seem to have had quite the impact yet. Maybe it will. Maybe it will.
Yeah, we'll see. Although it's also, of course, Elon kind of cucking him there. But
oh, yeah, Elon.
Let's see if the deal goes through. Of course, Trump then can fully embrace the meme. This is fantastic and will probably go down in textbooks again. You can click on the image here, please. We can see it there. Him as in The Lord of the Rings, the return of the great MAGA King. Oh, it's
so good.
Yeah. I saw the other day someone did post, they had a textbook on modern US politics. And they did have Trump's tweets in. As images.
Oh, really?
Just him tweeting about Kim Jong-un. And I'm thinking, one day this is actually going to be in there and your kids are going to have to study it.
History's going to get very weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, did you watch The Internet Historian on YouTube? I'll show you him. He's great. But he just documents like weird internet moments like the Tumblr con that was a complete show. And but after enough time, that is actually relevant again and part of history.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And I'm convinced that Trump will be redeemed by history. I mean, we talk about Lincoln. Some people were calling him a buffoon at the time and so on. He was sort of hated, and then he ends slavery. I'm not saying Trump's Lincoln, but if you look
but
back,
he's close. He's
yeah. If you look back, Trump, I think, will be seen as a lot better than obviously Biden and people like that. And they'll say at the time he was unpopular. That'll just be a footnote. At the time, you know what I mean? It's everything now, but
it's also unpopular with who?
Right.
Like, you've seen what makes them cheer, so their boos actually feel good as well.
And there's loads of things he can point to, can't he? The employment of black and Hispanic people, famously, the stuff he did with prison reform.
The economy was
the
gold.
economy. There's loads of things. Yeah, I know. It's pity about COVID, wasn't it? And but anyway, we don't want to go back into
Best friends with Kim Jong Un. What could go wrong?
That's it. Peace in North Korea, peace with Russia.
Peace in Israel.
Because people always say to me, "Oh, Trump, he loved Putin." It's like, no, he superficially flattered Putin. But anyone who's looked into it knows that Russia likes to plan 50 years ahead with their war planning, right? So they plan for every eventuality. Assassinations. Do we need to do kinetic war? Poisoning. What do we need to do?
This is when they are
Economic
drunk,
war.
but
Yeah. And then, but with Trump, he's such a wild card that they can't fit him in. They can't reckon with it. They're like, well, he's a total wild card. We can't plan for this. And they don't dare do anything. Plus, he said he'd bomb Moscow. It was that as well. So, allegedly.
I think that is actually, I've mentioned it before to Leo, but in the there's a Chinese manual for like naval doctrine, and there's some comments that were leaked once from some naval officer in the Chinese Navy who was just like, yeah, the Americans' greatest strength is the fact that we have no idea what the hell they're doing, and neither do they.
Right.
There you have it. But we'll move forward from this. If we go to the next one here, we can have the fact that some, I don't know, lukewarm IQ individual
Yes.
responded here by saying it's just too perfect that he doesn't recognize it was mockery and not granting him a frigging title.
Yeah, I love this because it's just like someone with the vaccine emoji and a Ukraine flag, obvs. And the idea that he hasn't grasped that that's mockery is so... I don't know if you actually believe this. That's so stupid if you actually believe that. Of course he grasps it's mockery, but he's embraced it. He's gone, thanks, Joe, that sounds great.
Because it's not really mockery.
Right, because it's bad mockery.
Like, Biden is the one being mocked in this context, and apparently
Right.
lukewarm individuals like this don't realize it.
He
Or
doesn't,
at least...
he doesn't get that it's mockery. You always get that with Trump, though. Do you remember when he said Tim Apple? He was talking about Tim Cook, and he goes, Tim Apple. Tim, Apple. He didn't think his name was Tim Apple. I'm sorry.
But also, who cares? The
No,
Apple
who
man.
cares? I know, but exactly. But people always say, "Oh, he thought Tim Cook's name was Apple." No, he didn't. He just said Tim, meaning Tim from Apple. But people always have to pretend Trump's this idiot. It's like, yes, he's an idiot billionaire president. Yes, okay, he's a moron. What have what have you done? I was going to say something like you work in,
But then again, I mean,
but those are great people. So I didn't want to.
I was going to say compared to what, though? Because it's like, Trump might misspeak sometimes. But then we just heard Biden say inflation is our strength. So, comparatively.
Yeah. I
In
just
the
don't
one-
buy this idea that Trump's dumb. But anyway, carry on.
But we'll move to the next one, of course, which is that the Republicans also have embraced this. This is from Jack Posobiec again. Photoshopping, or I don't know if someone else photoshopped him into this, being the great MAGA king. I love the idea that all the Republicans should just change their profile pictures to be wearing kings. So little crowns. It would just be gold.
If it was if it was who's the best memes, I mean, they'd absolutely trounce them. Unfortunately, it's not all about the memes, but
Kind of is.
kind of is. For us, it is. But the
Elections
voters-
come down to sound bites, and the best sound bite is a good meme.
That's true.
So let's go to the next one. So we also have the fact that more MAGA King imagery here.
Nice.
I also love the fact that a lot of this is old stuff that's becoming relevant again. If we go to the next one, we can see more of that. In which we
Isn't
just
that
have,
cat turd in that one?
yeah,
Okay.
Cat's a good boy, good guy. Got to be the CEO of Twitter right here. If we go to the next one, we can also see the fact that the White House then tried to defend this comment, which, what? Like, you don't need to defend it. Like, it's based. It's like no one's embarrassed by this. So you have the redhead who's on her way out saying, quote, "Well, I would say that the president is not afraid to call out what he sees as extreme positions that are out of line with where American people stand." Thing is, this don't make no sense because, of course, you've got the normal people and then you've got what the Democrats propose, which doesn't line up with the normal people. I mean, just demonstrably. And to move to the next
Yeah,
one.
they're always calling everyone else extreme. Biden's the guy that said Antifa is just an idea.
Yep.
They've advocated burning down cities. And we all know Biden was promised to be this sort of centrist, bring everyone back together. He's done the complete opposite.
No, I remember the worst one on Antifa was definitely the representative was Jerry Nadler or whatever.
Yeah,
he
Nadler.
came out and said that it's a myth.
A
Like,
myth.
It doesn't exist.
Amazing.
This was in the middle of
Why
when
does my head hurt then? Why am I bleeding at a rally?
the
That's a
courthouse
myth.
had just been bombed with an IED in Portland,
Wow.
and he was like, "Yeah, it's a myth. Don't worry about it. Sorry, but yeah, it's just unbelievable, isn't it?" But then I thought we'd compare the moderate centrist politics of Biden, as you say, with the reality. So this was a couple of days ago, or I think it was 2 days ago now. Breaking news: every Senate Democrat except one just voted to legalize abortion nationwide until the very moment of childbirth. Every Republican senator voted against it. The only Democrat who voted no was Manchin again, the guy from the inflation earlier. So
That is frightening.
the entire republic is on like a needle edge, and this random dude who no one has ever heard of is just like, nope, gonna betray my own pie, bye. But to actually propose that, of course, in response to Roe v. Wade being overturned, let's just legalize child murder. I mean, I'm not sure where I land on the whole abortion. When should it be? But before the moment of childbirth, I mean, I think everyone can agree if you kick a woman in the stomach at that point, it's murder.
Such an extreme position that they've arrived at gradually. You know, that's in the past, even sort of so-called pro-choice people would have thought that's mental. You know, up till birth, absolutely mental. You're just killing babies. There's nothing else to say about it. I get criticised on GB News because even my female followers who like me, and then suddenly I'll say something pro-life, like I didn't like that, Nick. It's like, I'm sorry, I can't, be pro-killing babies to not offend you. That is my position.
That's a line in the sand I can't cross.
Yeah, I mean, I even went as far as voting for a Christian party in the general election because I couldn't have the deaths of unborn babies on my conscience. So I was like, what can I actually do then? Well, I can vote for the Christian party. They're not going to win, but be the change you want to be in the world. Yeah. If everyone voted for them, then we wouldn't be killing all these babies. I just couldn't live with it. Plus, they wanted to, get tough on London crime, observe the referendum result, and
all the normal people things.
And tax big tech. I was like, these are all great policies. Why is the Christian party not winning? Christian People's Alliance. I was like, who else cares about
a public service announcement?
Yeah. Well, sorry, but they're just
they're
so. I mean, I'm not affiliated with them, I should say, but we're so crazy on this abortion issue now, where we are with it, because I don't know if we're going to do the Christopher Hitchens thing.
We will, yeah.
Oh, we'll do it.
If we move to the next one, we can see the law in this, the fact that it was literally one vote away from being legalized up to the point of childbirth.
Yeah,
that is insane.
All I was going to say was in the past, this position, even on the left, would have been thought extreme. That Christopher Hitchens years ago was talking about the idea it's my body, my choice thing. That wasn't even taken seriously on the left. He was sort of speaking as if that idea is a bit silly and is going to fade away. I think it's with Prager. You can go and check out all his old pro-life stuff on YouTube. And he's not taking that idea seriously on the left in like the 90s or whatever. And now it's just normal. Every person, the idea that you don't think it's the woman's body and her choice, they look at you like you're insane and evil. But that used to be a strange...
Because there's two bodies here. I mean,
right.
Again, like I say, I'm not even at the properly conservative position of conception, because I don't feel confident enough about the whole debate that I know enough. But I definitely know that very late into the pregnancy, this isn't right, and everyone knows this isn't right.
Right, and they're taking this weird stance to own the conservatives or whatever, and it's like, what are you advocating? And by the way, you call it a conservative stance. Even Christopher Hitchens in the past said point of conception is where it has to start. He said logically it can't really be anywhere else. Anyway,
I'm only calling it conservative because it's the old thinking.
I see, small c conservative. Yeah, I mean, the other interesting thing is the vaccine debate. Someone was posting the other day, "Oh, you can't be. I'm sorry, you can't be suddenly pro-life and you were pro-choice on the vaccine." Yes, you can. It's quite different. One of them is we're saying, like you say, it's two people. It's a separate innocent person you're killing, which is the baby. In the case of the vaccine mandate, you're saying no. You are saying it's body autonomy because it's I have a right. You can't tell me to take the vaccine, but we all have a right to talk about abortion because it's an innocent child. That's the whole argument.
But that's the thing as well. The rhetoric never made any sense. My body, my choice. And the vaccine, okay, literally my body. But when you say my body, my choice, there's a second body involved.
That's why you can be pro-life and anti-vaccine mandate, but you can't be pro-vaccine mandate using the my body, my choice and be pro-choice and be pro-choice suddenly on abortion. That's what you can't be, so it doesn't work that way around.
That makes sense. Moving forward, we shall go, I believe, to an example of this. So if we scroll down here, this is David posting on Getter. This is an example, and just if you approach, if someone is listening who would have voted yes on that bill, then here's an example to think about. If we click on the image here, this is a Leeds man from Leeds, born in Leeds, raised in... No.
It's like Florida man.
Yeah, this guy is an Iraqi asylum seeker. Let's just punch that out of the water before we go further. Punched pregnant partner in stomach and told her the baby is gone. He was given 3 years in jail.
Wow.
But we all know that's the right thing to do. You punch a pregnant woman in the stomach. Well, it's just a body. It's just assaulting a woman is all that is. Of course not. Of course, it's much more serious.
It's just a clump of cells, mate.
If we go to the next one, we can see Christopher Hitchens, as you mentioned, you posted online.
Yeah.
I love this point, which is just as Hitchens says. If you see a woman kicked in the stomach, your instinct is properly one of revulsion. You learn that the woman is pregnant. Who will reply to this discovery which does not multiply their revulsion?
Yeah, and he says, and who will not say it's just because it's made it worse for the woman? And and I like this bit at the end. It's not even just an instinctive or emotional reaction, although those are important. We're stuck with a basic reverence for life. So yeah, anyone instinctively knows that. Of course, it's horrific, and it's not just because it will hurt the woman more. We know, oh, that's a baby. But then we suddenly claim in other times, oh, it's a clump of cells. I suppose you could argue if a woman's visibly pregnant, the pregnancy is at a point where it now is a human, and then we get into that debate.
But then, if a friend of yours has a miscarriage, you say, I'm sorry.
Yes, and that's where he says in the top of the quote as well, that you can't be meaningfully inhuman unless you're potentially human. You can't say a snake or a rat is inhuman. It doesn't make any sense. So we know it's. I always felt that we know it's going to be a human. I was like, yeah, but it's not yet. I always thought that was a bit academic. Maybe I'm naive. I always thought, yeah, but it's going to be. That's the whole intention. That's the whole assumption. So you're just arguing about a couple of weeks. I don't know.
At what point it's human, yeah.
Yeah, and
that's the debate. But
that is the debate, but for some
Well, that's
people,
the debate.
that's not the debate for these Democrats.
That used to be the debate.
Right, exactly.
Whereas these days it's up until birth, get the scissors out and, I don't know, a brick. Why
I know.
not?
And then you got that guy from Virginia. Do you remember that guy just like after birth saying you can still kill the baby? Do you remember that? Yeah. Alex Jones was covering it. We keep them comfortable. That famous.
But remember, this is the moderate position. Remember that the MAGA king is the extremist, whereas the I'm going to kill babies is moderate. That's the moderate position. Sorry, I can't get over it, but it really is just insane. We'll move to the next one here just so we can move along. We can see here this is another just insane position they have, which is that it's a conspiracy theory that Biden is handing out crack pipes. This goes back to Hunter Biden, of course, being a crack enjoyer. And he apparently has been influencing policy in this way. Because if we go to the next one, yeah, they are handing out crack pipes. This is a story here, I can't remember, I think it's the Washington Beacon or whatever. They just wrote for safe smoking kits in multiple cities. And we're just giving crack pipes by multiple cities. Fantastic. I guess so. We'll move forward again, away from the moderate Democrats with their crack pipes and baby killing, to some people who are very mad at the MAGA king. Click on a MAGA king trending topic and you'll see Republicans' authoritarian lust on full display. They don't literally want a king, you dunce. Republicans are so hot for being ruled with an iron fist by a strong man who's actually just an old bankrupt bottlehead orange gremlin career sex criminal that it's sick. It's like your rewards in the mail for your writing there. But
you were telling me just before the show that you were hot for the iron fist of a strong man.
Was I?
Yeah, don't remember.
No. Oh. Nor do I think that's in any of the trending topic for MAGA King. I think it's Lamau and then post memes instead.
I know. This whole idea that Trump was going to be... I still have family members that still tell me, Trump's Hitler, Trump should die in jail, he's mad, he's Hitler. These are smart people, but they lose their mind when it comes to Trump. He just, as we know, Trump derangement syndrome is nothing new. I called it a long Trump derangement syndrome because you have people in my family still saying he's going to die in jail. He's not even the president. Why are you still saying he's going to die in jail? What are you on about?
I love the idea that he's Hitler. So,
yeah,
because Hitler left the office, didn't he?
Right.
He didn't have to go total and Krieg. It's like, this is nuts. But anyway, sorry.
It's not to do with authoritarianism, is it? It's just a cool name, the MAGA King.
Yeah, it's just funny as hell. We move forward, of course. What's Trump's response to this? Well, he's out campaigning, as you would expect, doing this thing.
That's my mate, Jason.
We have Jason Miller there, of course, going with him and seeing what's up. If we go to the next one, of course, we can also see something else that I thought I'd pull up just before we end on the moderate Democrats. And, makes a fantastic point here. The White House just tweeted this out. When Biden took office, millions were unemployed and there was no vaccine available. This is the same organization, the same administration that says they need to run a ministry of truth for you.
Wow. It's amazing, isn't it? Because we all know that not only did Trump, whatever you think about the vaccine, it was Trump. And then you had people like Kamala Harris saying, don't even take a Trump vaccine. Then it became the Biden vaccine.
And then, as soon as it became Biden, it was fine. If we go to the next image here, I find unbelievable. Like, there are images of you taking the vaccine when Trump was in office, but at the same time, no, we're going to be in charge of disinformation.
This is one. There was one of these where it was almost one of those moments where you almost sympathize with Biden. He was getting a public vaccine for about the third time, and he just said, "I don't even know why we're here." Like he said something like that. You're like, yeah, fair enough, Joe. Like, why are you in front of a crowd taking a vaccine? This is not entertainment.
No. Also, just why are you anywhere? You might have just been wondering where he was. But that's that. I thought I'd just end that off with a look at Joe campaigning for Trump. And, of course, the just ridiculous nature that, we're the moderate Democrats who just want to kill BB, sell crack pipes, and set up a ministry of truth. If you appreciated that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as this video that Carl did, What Zoomers Have to Do to Save Themselves. And if you want to follow him on Getter, you can also follow him on Getter at Carl Benjamin on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.